All right, let's go to Jamal M. Sampson. What's up, Jamal? He says, I have seen the NFL Combine only once. I believe it was 2011. Haven't watched it since then. It's just super uneventful. Currently number one. I mean, did y'all watch the Combine over the weekend?
Yeah, that's a great segue. Let's go and get into best and worst.
Yeah, who'd you like?
All right, so I'm going to start with my best. I'm going to go back to Nolan Smith, who we talked about a little bit last week, and not just because he ran the 4.4 and he looked great in drills, and we know how good his movement is laterally. We're talking about the linebacker out of Georgia. But watching how excited his teammates were for him to do well, that speaks volumes to me about what type of locker room guy this is. A potential, not only first-round talent on the field, but off the field, a guy that could end up being a captain. You play a position at that linebacker position, whether it's inside or outside, that is kind of the quarterback of the defense, and it seems that Nolan Smith fits right in, being a leader, being a guy that understands how to get guys that want to play with him, not for him. I think that's something that's a big difference when you talk about leadership as a player. So Nolan Smith from a physical and then the non-physical aspect. And then the second one for me, and I want to get to this, is Anthony Richardson.
Ooh.
Not because, and I'm talking about just who made themselves more money. That's what I'm talking about. Because to me, that's the way I look at it. This combine is meant for you to go up the chart, to be able to make more money when you get drafted earlier. What I always find fascinating, excuse me, what I always find fascinating during the combine is there's always somebody that we know is a physical freak that goes to the combine and has physical freaky numbers, and then everybody freaks out. Like they had no idea. Like if Anthony Richardson was some no-name guy, if he was from like Ferris State or something and there were some question marks and he came in and ran 4.43 and set the quarterback record for vertical jump and broad jump, I'd be like, oh my God, this dude. Yeah, okay. All right. I can see now why he'd shoot up the charts. Anthony Richardson, I would have been more shocked if Anthony Richardson would have ran 4.6. I've seen this in real life. I've watched Anthony Richardson outrun people that run 4.5, 4.4. I've watched Anthony Richardson shake tackles, break tackles, be able to make guys miss in a phone booth, dive, do things that I can see him having an unbelievable vertical jump and broad jump. I'm not worried about Anthony Richardson's athleticism. That did nothing but prove something that's already been proven in my mind. Is it impressive? Hell yes, to be that big and move like that. They typically call those tight ends.
Yeah.
But the question with Anthony Richardson is accuracy. The question with Anthony Richardson is arm versatility and being able to throw the changeup when it matters. Not just throw the fastball. Physical specimen, yes. Did he make himself a lot of money? Yes. Is somebody going to reach for him and make a mistake early? Yes, because of the combine numbers he put up. I already knew this about Anthony Richardson. We all knew this about Anthony Richardson, but that's why, again, seeing something is a lot different than hearing something. And we haven't seen Anthony Richardson on the football field for a while. So people who may have just seen tape on him or hadn't watched a lot, watched him at that combine and went, oh my God, this dude is Hercules. What they didn't see is the overthrows that ended up in the safety's hands. Not throwing the check down, making mistakes during the scramble drill. All things that are correctable. But Anthony Richardson, to me, just didn't prove anything new. He proved what we all thought. He's a physical freak. So those are my two best. My worst, Kayshon Boutte, awful numbers. He did run the 4.5 on his first 40 attempt, but with his size, you feel like he needed to run better. Here's the problem with Kayshon Boutte. He had a 29-inch vertical jump. His numbers didn't jump out of the gym to you, and he had off-the-field problems. Those are two combinations you do not want. Some guys are not going to test well and are good football players. I think Kayshon Boutte is an unbelievable football player. But Boutte having bad combine numbers mixed with off-the-field problems, that is a bad mix. I think he cost himself a lot of money. Then Andre Carter, the defensive end from Army, who had a bad week at the Senior Bowl, did not put up good numbers. Everybody's been talking about this waiver. He may not even get drafted, it's looking like right now. He looks like that freshman in high school that's that thin, tall defensive end that you know is going to be a dog by the time he's a junior, but he's just not developed yet. I don't know if he has time to develop. Again, those two guys, Kayshon Boutte and Andre Carter from Army.
On the Kayshon Boutte point, in addition to having off-the-field issues and then an underwhelming combine, he didn't play well on the field this past season. Remember, coming into the year, we thought Kayshon Boutte could be a top 3 wide receiver in the country. He was far from that, even as LSU started to excel and really start to overperform.
Don't forget what Brian Kelly said about him, too. He said, when we were struggling early, I couldn't find you. Now we're winning. I can't get rid of you.
Yep.
That tells me a lot.
Which during the season, we thought that was
Damn,
a
that's-
sign of his maturity and he was coming along. And remember, he was going to come back for the season. Then around December, he said, no, I'm going to declare for the draft. So, sort of 3 strikes there in a row as far as I'm concerned. But on the Anthony Richardson point, look, we knew he was going to test well, right? Like we've seen that. We knew that he was going to be the starting quarterback after Emory Jones left at Florida. And he does only have one season of a sample size under Billy Napier. That's one of the things that tells me, like, yes, of course, he could take off. He could do what Justin Herbert did, and really take that next step, or Josh Allen especially, and take that next step in the league when you have all these physical characteristics. But we knew he was going to test well. To your point, does that mean you can throw the ball accurately down the field when you have shoulder pads on and the receiver's not open? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, again, this is the argument I made all last week. It's like, I'm sitting here watching. It's so funny. I've been like the biggest Stetson Bennett defender ever of all time. And underneath this clip on Twitter, I was like, throwing in without pads just makes absolutely no sense if you've ever thrown with pads on. And people are like, oh, you're just saying this because it's Stetson Bennett. I'm like, if you idiots have ever heard me talk for 2 minutes, I've said this about everybody ever, and I've been the biggest Stetson Bennett defender, which Stetson runs 4.67, looks pretty good throwing the ball. I mean, late third day, maybe, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, look, Anthony Richardson, someone is going to go up there and reach for him, just like they do in the NBA, just on physical characteristics.
Look at him.
Because it's like there's almost a bigger fear on passing on a Patrick Mahomes type than getting a bust. I remember Jamarcus Russell from LSU getting down on one knee and throwing the football 80 yards, and everybody just thought he was going to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yep.
And that's not how it works.
The people are saying this as people who haven't watched game tape of Anthony Richardson. Go through the season, watch game tape, and then come back and tell me you really feel comfortable about drafting him in the first round. Because you won't.
They either did that or just watched highlights, which is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Like in recruiting, too. You just watch highlights, you're like, oh my God, he's so good. Like, yeah, because those are the highlights. Like, if you showed all the highlights of, like, my life, like, off the field, you'd be like, he's the greatest person ever. It's like petting a dog, helping an old lady cross the street,
Is that it? Is that the highlights?
There's a couple.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's
Gets
enough.
my
All
way
right.
to heaven, right?
I'll move through mine quickly here. How about Michigan cornerback DJ Turner with the 4.27? Do you guys see that?
Yeah,
Let's
this
watch
is
it.
skating. Let's go ahead and play it.
Quickness.
Ting, 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 ting.
Comes out low, baby.
Gone.
Shut out of a cannon. Comes
Gone.
out low.
Yeah.
4.27.
That must be so cool.
Didn't the kid from TCU run like a 3.3?
You talking about the
Marcus
little
Davis?
Ewok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They clocked him they did on Twitter and stopped it. It was a 3.9.
He just disappeared
It was
halfway
a
through the 40.
3.9. That's
They
what I-
started the clock and he just
So
disappeared.
2 things I've always wanted to be able to feel like. Well, 3 things. Throw it 95 plus, jump a 40-inch vertical, and run a 4.3. I just want to know what it feels like.
Yeah, just to see it. They should have a simulator of like, this is what it looks like
Yeah.
on a 4.3.
Talking about
That may be a
verticals,
great
man.
idea.
How about BYU offensive lineman Blake Freeland, 6'7",
Yeah, this is
302 pounds, 37-inch vertical.
Get
That's
away from me.
insane.
Get away from
Out of
Send him to
BYU.
Ukraine.
Christian Gonzalez, cornerback from Oregon, the highest rated relative
Yeah, he's
athletic
insane.
score. This guy's going to be like a top 7 pick. Or
Yeah,
something,
he's
man.
nasty.
Just
Top 10 for
unbelievable.
sure.
Him and Joey Porter Jr.
Joey's long.
How about Darnell Washington?
That was mine, yeah.
You got, okay,
yeah.
go ahead. Talk
I
about
mean, yeah, do we have the video of him pushing the sled?
We have the sled, yeah.
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 If you go watch the rest of the tight ends push the sled, it's not even
I think it's
close.
cut in there.
This guy's literally from Pacific Rim. That's CJ Stroud. He's
Here
pretty
you
good,
go.
too.
Here you go.
But
watch,
look at
watch
this thing.
this. Go ahead and play it. Now, my dog.
Look at his hands. Ugh.
But you have to do it my way.
Oh my God. He might
Yeah, like the people really don't understand. Like, watch this catch. Look at this thing run.
Shoo!
Oh, yes.
God.
You're drafted.
Like a tennis ball.
You're
yeah,
drafted.
come play for us.
You think I want Will Levis? Give me that thing.
Yeah.
Again, 6'7", 270, 4'6"?
Dude.
Not even the best tight end on Georgia
Let's
State.
just say,
That is nuts.
God,
Cocaine
so
bear.
true.
Can we just be honest? Cocaine bear.
Pacific Rim.
It's Darnell Washington's 100% cocaine bear.
Like, send him to Ukraine and it'll all be fixed.
exactly right.
One of the things on
So
Will
in
Levis,
tanks.
Yeah.
one of the things on Will Levis I thought was interesting was you saw him. He was trying to take some off of those throws. I think
what
to
happened?
prove that he
And what
could like
happened?
throw the change up and to throw off speed. Led to more inaccuracy.
Oh, no.
It was one of those situations where it was like he tried to do the right thing to show his versatility from a passing standpoint.
Yeah.
I think he would have been better served if he just here's like Anthony Richardson. Look, it is a combine. If they're going to allow you to move up higher in the draft for just throwing without pads on and throwing fastballs, go throw fastballs.
What did they say?
They were clocking the fastest throw.
what did
Like
they
the
say?
kid from UCLA threw it like
What did they
3,000
say?
miles per hour.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's the best ever.
It's like a boy says on Major League. It's like on that 3-2 pitch. He's like, give him the heater.
He did.
It's like, just, Will, look, it's not that we know that that's, they know you struggle with that.
You try to show versatility.
Like, you're trying to show
you
versatility.
showed inability.
But see, that's exactly right. God, I'm coughing a lot this morning. Getting the demons out.
Yeah.
But no, like, that's the thing with Will Levis. It's like, it's not that we know you're not trying to do it. You just struggle to do it. That's why I'm not believing you. Don't you know Will Levis saw Anthony Richardson run that, do like all this stuff, and he's like, damn it. Because Will Levis wanted to be like the physical freak. Like, he can throw it over those mountains over there.
CJ looked good. Of course, CJ
CJ's
looked
gonna
good.
look good.
Every Buckeye looked good.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's out there winning the shuttle drills and the 3-cone drills. Both the twin towers over there, left tackle, right tackle. It's like, hey, just take your pick.
I thought Jahmyr Gibbs looked good.
Ran
a 4.36. Jahmyr Gibbs.
He ran 4.36?
Yeah, he's an NFL back. Look good catch.
Well, I think he's Tony Pollard. That's what I think he is.
NFL back.
I think he's Tony, like a true like swing guy.
And Tony a little bigger though.
Like Tony's a little thicker, but give Jahmyr's small in height, but I mean he's a little bit thicker than what I think people give him credit for now. He's a guy that you can put in the slot. You can just do a lot of stuff with him. Like I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is a great in the box runner. Like in the NFL, I don't think that's exactly what he's going to be. But from a speed sweep, outside perimeter run, getting the swing, screen game type player, man, like Jahmyr can do a lot. Hey, YouTube, we appreciate you guys checking us out. Do us a favor. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn that notification bell on so you know whenever we drop content. We'd really appreciate it.